Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and now that my 2 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I had a subscriber aware me yesterday that it's the weekend of the Arnold Classic. I actually did not know that. Now a bunch of people are going to go, Jason, how could you not know that? Because I don't follow bodybuilding. I'm not a fan of bodybuilding. I had no clue. I don't keep up with that. But he's like, well, why don't you put a tribute up in your background to Arnold? So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Well, it's no surprise, and it's no small secret, that I am not a fan of bodybuilding. I don't care about the bodybuilding aspect, but I'm an Arnold fan. Do you know why? Because I grew up loving the movies. So here's my tribute to Arnold. I don't need a picture. Just be like, Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. Dylan, you son of a bitch. So there you go. There's my tribute to Arnold. That's all I care about, the movies. Only thing noteworthy to me Arnold ever did. Don't care about him as a politician. Don't care about him as a bodybuilder, but I loved his movies. Big fan. Probably seen every movie he ever did. And I grew up on them, like a lot of you did. But as far as the whole bodybuilding thing goes, in all honesty, I'm not a fan of bodybuilding. I'm not a fan of bodybuilding culture. I'm not a fan of the lifestyle. Now, a lot of people will say, because on the internet I've read this, that it's because I'm a failed bodybuilder. No, that's actually not it at all. The reality of it is I've been around that community enough in my life. I've seen the lifestyles that it entails. I've seen the physical harm that it does. And we saw that manifested this last year with Dallas McCarver, with Rich Piana. And there's a lot of other guys who were hurt too. Ronnie Coleman's hurt really, really bad. All right, it's a destructive lifestyle. And it's that I saw not only the drug abuse and the prostitution and the G4P and everything else around it and realized it was a disgusting lifestyle in general. And a degenerate lifestyle, but it's actually harmful to people. It's harmful to people's self-image. It encourages bigorexia. It encourages starvation. It encourages people to get down to body fats that are not sustainable, that will harm you. They will harm you. If you get bodybuilder ripped, it will harm your health. It will harm your organs. So the thing that I would say is that the whole fitness world needs to quit supporting this. If you call yourself a fitness YouTuber and you still support these big expos and bodybuilding shows, these endeavors are destructive to fitness. They're destructive to health. They shouldn't be uplifted. You know, we need to make that separation too. That shouldn't be fitness. Just like me, when I talk about powerlifting or strength sports, I don't necessarily always classify that as fitness, because there is a certain element to those sports that is not fit, that is not healthy. Person can compete in them and still be healthy and fit. It can be part of a fit lifestyle, but it can also very quickly go the other direction, and it often does. Whereas with something like bodybuilding, it's impossible to get involved with that without harming your health, and that's because the actual body fat levels, even for a person who chooses not to partake in the drugs, the prostitution, any of the other stuff, the body fat levels alone that you have to diet down to be acceptable in that world are harmful. So you cannot compete at any level of it without harming your health. And that's the problem with it. And all the other stuff that goes with it. And people who don't understand that, you've already seen the deaths. Listen to what other people have said. I've been saying all this for years. But go listen to Jerry Ward. He'll tell you and talk about all his glory days of all the narcotic abuse that happens all through serious bodybuilding. You've got Muscle Metrics talked about the G4P. You've heard Boston Lloyd talk about the G4P. A lot of other people besides me have talked about that. It's out there. The info's out there. There have been pro bodybuilders who've been interviewed about it in private for decades, who've talked about selling their bodies. It is just part of that lifestyle, part of that culture. You know, guys who are otherwise straight, I mean, this is not a positive lifestyle in any way. And it gets propped up by all these supplement companies that sell products that aren't useful. Yeah, okay, some protein powders can be helpful. You know, I'll take a softer stance on that these days, you know. I've drinking protein shakes off and on. Protein shakes can be helpful as a convenience. I get that. Okay, fish oil's okay, things like that. Yeah, things that can help you with your diet, but all this idea of the pre-workouts, post-workouts, BCAAs, myostatin inhibitors, test boosters, all this other stuff, it's useless nonsense. It's not useful at all. In fact, I think a fair argument can be made that even things like pre-workouts are actually probably harmful. There's a fair argument that can be created for that. We know based on the research that they don't benefit you. You can make the argument that they're harmful when you understand stress management, psychological arousal, and recovery from training. In addition to, them charging money for all this, a whole industry based upon false advertising that props up an unhealthy lifestyle and uses that to promote its products, calling itself fitness. It's just an industry that none of us should really be supporting, and that is what these expos are. They're bodybuilding shows and places to pimp out enormous amounts of useless supplements. And that's not fitness. That's not health. Right? And we should do better than that. All of us who are in YouTube fitness, who are trying to teach people to be healthy, to be fit, to lift weights, to eat a good diet, to be athletic, we really need to push people away from all that nonsense. We really have an obligation. Like, if any of us really care about the fitness and health and athleticism of our followings, we need to push away from that stuff. And I really and truly think bodybuilding is dead. Yeah, it's trying to do the best it can, but it's dying a slow death. And, nothing could speak of that further than the fact that Flex Magazine, which was basically the official magazine of the IFBB of pro bodybuilding, is shutting down. They just announced it in the last few days. I saw that come through my feed today. They've announced it. And I think next month is the last magazine Flex Magazine is ever making, and they're done. They're done. So the biggest pro bodybuilding magazine out there is shutting down. And I hope that is a sign of the times. I hope that is a sign of the times, because this whole bodybuilding scene needs to go away. It is not helpful to fitness. It's not helpful to any of us. And people who seem to think that it is are like, oh, well, what about all the supplement industry? You really think the supplement industry is helpful to you? You know which industries are helpful? How about the gym industry? How about the manufacturers of barbells and weight plates? How about the farmers and ranchers who grow healthy food for you? All right, those are pro-fitness companies. I mean, the farmer who grows broccoli, or the rancher who raises grass-fed beef. Farmer who's got a nice peach orchard. All right, that's the businesses that are helpful to your health and fitness. People who make barbells. There you go. How about Rogue Fitness? How about your local farmer's market? All right, that's the industries we should be supporting, because that's what gives you health and fitness and athleticism. The supplement industry doesn't. It's not useful to us. Again, outside of maybe a few convenience products here and there that exist, minor things like protein powders that are, again, convenience. They're not necessary. They're convenience. Fish oil, because a lot of us don't like to eat fish and we want our omega-3s. All right, that's fair enough. Outside of that stuff, they don't do a lot. They don't do a lot of value other than take people's money and sell false hopes and dreams. And that goes hand in hand these days with the bodybuilding world. They're kind of married together, aren't they? And the thing is, we don't need any of that anymore. We have things like YouTube fitness now, where people who know training, know nutrition, we can give people advice. And our advice is right here. It's available. You don't need to go to a magazine. You don't need to go to a supplement product. It's right here available. And I am not the only person on here who knows what they're talking about. I might disagree with some other people on points, but there are plenty of people who I don't even fully agree with who have a hell of a lot of useful knowledge here on this platform. There's where you go get good information, get good advice. There are good coaches who even go through YouTube. If you really want to hire a coach to help you take things to the next level, they're there. There are good coaches out there. There are good free programs out there. Programs you can buy books for. It's all available online. We don't need any of this other nonsense. And I'm glad to see that Flex Magazine is dying. And I really hope to see a future to where fitness YouTubers stop supporting these crazy bodybuilding expos. That would kind of be, I would see that as a victory for the fitness world. And I would say to the people out there doing that, you don't need these expos either. You don't need them. Do your own thing. You know what? If you really want to meet your fans, they say, well, you know, my fans want to meet me at them. Your fans wasted a lot of money to go to this crappy expo. They wasted a lot of money to go this. You could always do a meet and greet. You could always travel and do a seminar. I mean, if it was really that important to go out and meet your fans, there's other things you can do. Elliot Holst does that these days. You could all do the same thing without dumping money into the supplement industry and these expos in the bodybuilding world. Do your own thing. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.